What is up, ladies and gentlemen? So in today's video, I'm going to be talking about the placenta for Agrofloresta. So what a placenta does, it nourishes a baby. It gives the baby all it needs to live in the mother's womb. So when you plant certain species into the ground, these are the species that are going to help the Agrofloresta grow and flourish. Now, ideally, this is something you really want to do, especially if your land is not good. So if you know that your land is not ideal to be able to plant stuff in, which could be arid, dry, you just have terrible land. This is something you should do. It's very much advice for you to do to bring some life to your soil. First of all, I came across this concept about the placenta for Agrofloresta through Ernest Gouch. He's one of the masters here in Brazil for agroforestry, and he mentions two plants.
Planto eles como formadores da placenta. Uso esse termo agora de placenta porque eles criam o primeiro viveiro para todo o resto. Inclusivamente, entre eles também tem uma relação de criadores e criados. A primeira parte da placenta é formada pelo feijão.
So it's the yuca and the feijão de porco. So this is what you would be planting with the yuca. It's like basically the stem. And around here is where, let me see if I can find it better. So right here is where the stems and leaves would start growing. And when you put this in the bottom would have the roots. And this is the feijão de porco. This is a feijão de porco bush. I'm going to see if I can find the beans. So I planted these across. So the idea is for planting these things is not for consumption. It's basically to produce biomass. So these beans eventually, or the shell turns kind of yellowish brown, kind of almost like a pale color. And inside you have some white beans. This is really good for the soil, bringing nutrients into the soil. And this is also good to produce biomass. So the idea is to basically be able to cut this up and feed the soil. So here we have yuca already matured. And I've made a video of how we make yuca flour, which is really good. And you can make a lot of different things with yuca. And you can see it could go really high and produces a lot of foliage. So if you have really bad soil, you won't be consuming the yuca because it's not going to be the best. But whatever you plant after the yuca decomposes is going to benefit from what's left in the ground. And you're going to use the foliage to bring more biomass to the floor and nurture the floor. Now, if you look online, there's a lot of recommendations of what you can use to make your placenta for your Agrofloresta. And one of the things I've also heard people recommend, the whole idea is to actually try to produce as much biomass for the ground, just so you can enrich your ground. And one of those things is the mamona. So this is a mamona. You won't be consuming anything from it, but it has a lot of beneficial uses. And the main thing right here would be using the foliage to feed the ground and produce biomass. And I've also heard people using corn, using cane, and stuff that really grows rapid. So you want something that has rapid growth so you can feed the ground and produce biomass, so then later you can plant what you really want to plant in your ground and it'll have a good head start. So if you're planning to do your Agroforestry or your food forest and you don't have really good land, or your soil is not good, is what I mean. So if your soil is not good, maybe it would be a great idea to do this method. Try to plant the placenta for your land, and then later you can plant what you really want to grow. So have a look at that. I'll try to make a playlist of some of the videos I found useful, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.
Eles primeiro crescem. Se eu não plantasse isto, no momento de nascer essas árvorezinhas que vão nascer, aí o grilo vem e corta. E se esse for presente, ele não vem. Eu não preciso nada contra o grilo. Senão eu só tenho que agir certo.